Did you know that Jason Bourne's character was actually named after a real guy named Ansel Bourne who was alive in the 1800s? This is the first documented case of dissociative fugue, a condition very similar to amnesia or dissociative identity disorder. My brother-in-law requested that I review the Bourne movies because he really loves them, so Jack, this is for you. So I have 3 reasons why I think the Bourne Identity is a really solid spy thriller. The first reason is I really love the character development of Jason Bourne. Specifically, I think Matt Damon nailed the character in terms of how he went about trying to remember who he was. But just seeing the character develop throughout the movie where Jason may not have known who he was, but his body remembered who he was. He had all the muscle memory of a trained killer. It's the clashing of worlds where your mind doesn't know who you are, but your body does. It was just a really cool phenomenon to see that. And it took him most of the movie to figure out who he was. But the way he went about figuring it out was just super fun to watch and just super intriguing, and it really immersed you into the mind of Jason Bourne. The second reason I really love this movie is I really like the pace of the movie. There's not a slow point to this movie. It's all building upon Jason's revelation of who he is, and you need to have a good solid start to the movie and then throw in other characters as well to help him along on his journey, and then you got some great fight scenes, and then at the very end Jason Bourne finally comes to the realization of who he is and all of his memory comes back. But there's a lot of great spy aspects thrown into this movie. This typical spy stuff you would throw in, like the government interfering, the music, the lighting, the fighting. I mean, all the things that make a spy movie worth watching is in this movie, and it's really well done. It's not like a cheesy spy movie. It's one where it's really well crafted and it's really well done, and it makes you want to see more and makes you want to cheer on Jason even more when you find out the truth behind who he works for and why he is at this point in his life. And then the third and final reason is the action scenes and the choreography were really awesome, really well done. Jason has this really interesting fighting technique I noticed in the movie where he uses space really well, where he'll purposely get close to some people when he's fighting and then he'll back up a bit and then let them come to him. But he also switches between weapons and hand-to-hand combat really well. It's just really smooth, and the choreography done in this movie just makes it super awesome to watch. There was a scene in the movie where it's a knife versus a pen. That reminded me a lot of John Wick, but Jason goes about doing it, I think, is more realistic than John Wick. And then you also have that really cool scene on the stairwell where he's going down all the flights of stairs on top of somebody who's dead, and he lands at the bottom of the stairwell. It's just a really cool action sequence, so hats off to the fight choreographer for this movie. So for the Bourne Identity, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below, what is your favorite Jason Bourne movie? See you next time.